This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Edited by Danushka Madhavella and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The Prime Minister says he will not work outside the provisions of the Constitution. Parliament will convene on the 15th. New President to be elected on the 20th of this month. The Sri Lanka Bar Association says that violent actions will lead to disrupting the peace in society. LP gas distribution will take place continuously. 3 fuel ships are scheduled to arrive in the country within this week. In news from overseas, Ukraine plans million-strong army to retake South, and in sports news, Sri Lanka won the second test against Australia. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says he will not work outside of the provisions of the Constitution. The Prime Minister, in a special statement to media today, said the reasons behind his personal residence being set on fire could be the result of a false statement that was circulated during the party leaders' meeting held on Saturday. The Prime Minister added that the government must work continually and according to the legislature. Premier Wickremesinghe said he is in office to protect the Constitution and to heed the woes of the people. He added an all-party government will be formed, stating that steps are to be taken towards this purpose. The Prime Minister said his only possession was his house, adding that his most prized possession was his library that contained more than 2,500 books. The Premier said he was not planning on holding onto the books forever, adding that he and his wife had decided to donate the books to the Royal College Colombo 7, the University of Peradeniya, and an international relations institution. Premier Wickremesinghe said he had prized paintings dating back 200 years, of which he said he has one painting remaining. Premier Wickremesinghe stated that such actions are typical Hitler-like actions. The Premier said the Presidential Secretariat, the President's house, temple trees have been ruined while valuable documents have been destroyed. Party leaders have decided to elect a new president on the 20th of July if President Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigns on the 13th of July. Parliament will convene on the 15th. Nominations for the post of president will be accepted on the 19th of July and a president will be elected on the 20th of July. The SJB party members have decided to propose the name of Sajid Premadasa to the post of the president. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
We continue with local news. The Sri Lanka Bar Association says that violent actions will lead to disrupting the peace between citizens and the society. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Bar Association, Attorney-at-Law Salia Piri, says that they condemn the shooting of protesters, attack of journalists and setting fire to the private residence of the Prime Minister. The chairman said that violent actions will slow the speed of solving the present crisis. The Litro Gas Company says there are enough stocks of LP gas in the country at present. Another ship carrying 20,000 metric tons of LP gas will arrive in the country on the 19th of this month. The company says the gas shortage would completely end by the end of this month. Chairman of the company, Mudita Pereira, urges the public to not stay in queues unnecessarily. The price of a cylinder of a Litro gas has increased by 50 rupees. Earlier, it was announced that the increase would be 200 rupees per cylinder. Accordingly, the price of a 12.5 kilogram gas cylinder in the Colombo district would be 4,910 rupees. The chairman requests the public to not purchase gas cylinders for higher prices. Consumers are requested to submit their electricity bills when purchasing a gas cylinder. Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara says that 3 fuel ships are scheduled to arrive in the country within this week. A ship carrying diesel will arrive between tomorrow and the 15th of this month. A crude oil ship is scheduled to arrive between the 14th and the 16th, and a furnace oil shipment is expected between the 15th to the 17th of this month. The minister said that payment should be made by tomorrow for a petrol ship, which is expected to arrive in the country between the 17th and the 19th of this month. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
Nobody tells time like this. So why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank? Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The department says that the train ticket reserving time period has been reduced to 7 days at present. Earlier it was 30 or 14 days prior to the date of travel. Meanwhile, the increase of the ticket prices has been postponed. It was scheduled to increase the prices from tomorrow. The train service between Jaffna and Kankesanture commenced today. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Next, we take a look at Watchlight. The central bank governor said prolonged political instability in Sri Lanka may delay progress on negotiations with the International Monetary Fund for a bailout package. He added he would like to have a stable political administration sooner than later. I hope that there will be an administration in which people can place more confidence. That was Watchlight. Next, we take a look at world news. The headlines. Ukraine plans million-strong army to retake south. World population to reach 8 billion. US monkeypox cases hit nearly 800 as experts criticize weakness in public health system. Ukraine plans a million-strong army equipped with NATO weapons to retake the south of the country from occupying Russians. The defense minister says retaking the areas around the Black Sea coast was vital to the country's economy. However, the comments are more of a rallying cry than a concrete plan, analysts say. The defense minister's remarks came as Russia makes progress in taking territory in the eastern Donbas region. Ukraine's state emergency services said an attack on a block of flats on Sunday killed at least 24 people, with 9 people rescued from under the rubble. The United Nations said the global population is projected to reach 8 billion on the 15th of November, with India projected to surpass China as the most populous country in 2023. The growth rate is at its lowest since 1950, having fallen under 1% in 2020, according to the World Population Prospectus 2022. The world's population could grow to around 8.5 billion in 2030 and 9.7 billion in 2050 and peak at around 10.4 billion during the 2080s. And countries in sub-Saharan Africa are expected to contribute more than half of the increase through 2050, said the report. The United States has reported 767 confirmed monkeypox cases in 39 states as of Friday, and experts criticize the weakness of the country's public health system to address the snowballing outbreak. New York had the highest monkeypox case count in the country with 153 cases, followed by California 136 and Illinois at 91, according to the latest data of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. To end this bulletin of world news, we take a look at the headlines again. Ukraine plans million-strong army to retake south. world population to reach 8 billion. US monkeypox cases hit nearly 800 as experts criticize weakness in public health system. That ends this bulletin of world news. Next, we take a look at development news. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said the Indian government has always been supportive of Sri Lanka and it was trying to help the neighbouring country through its present economic crisis and made it clear that there was no refugee crisis right now. Speaking to reporters outside the Thiruvananthapuram airport after arriving in the state capital on a 3-day visit, Jaishankar said they have been very supportive of Sri Lanka. That was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Sri Lanka won the second test against Australia. The match was played at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. Dinesh Chandimal's double century and Prabhat Jayasurya's 6-wicket haul helped Sri Lanka beat Australia by an innings and 39 runs in Galle and levelled the two-match series 1-1. Dinesh Chandimal becomes the first Sri Lankan to score a double hundred against Australia. Dinesh Chandimal scored 206 not out as Sri Lanka was bowled out 554 in the first innings. Sri Lanka's 554 is the highest score Sri Lanka ever made against Australia. Previously, Sri Lanka made 547 against Australia in 1992. Michael Bracewell hit a record-breaking 24 in the final over to clinch a one-wicket win for New Zealand against Ireland in the ODI opener at Malahide. The Black Caps needed 20 from the last over for victory to beat the previous best of 18 set by England against Australia in 1987. Bracewell smashed 3 fours and 2 sixes to win it with a ball to spare. Harry Tector made 113 in Ireland's 300 for 9 and the tourists struggled before the late fireworks from Bracewell. That was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Hemas Holdings PLC is set to enter the Omani market, according to the Sri Lanka Embassy in Muscat. Ambassador of Sri Lanka to the Sultanate of Oman, Amir Ajwad, together with Hema Senior Management for International Business Promotion, Kavindra Kasun Sigera, met the chairman of the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Redha Juma Al Saleh, the sole representative of the entire Oman private sector, and introduced the Hema's brand. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has announced that the grace period granted for residents of Sri Lanka to deposit or sell the foreign currency in possession to an authorised dealer has been extended. The Minister of Finance has issued an order under Section 8 of the Foreign Exchange Act No. 12 of 2017, extending the amnesty period granted for persons in or resident in Sri Lanka to deposit or sell the foreign currency in possession to an authorised dealer as specified in the order, by another 14 working days up to the 26th of July 2022. That was economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Nuwara and Kandy districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the Western province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Strong winds, about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times on the western slopes of the Central Hills and in the northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The Prime Minister says he will not work outside of the provisions of the Constitution. Parliament will convene on the 15th. New president to be elected on the 20th of this month. The Sri Lanka Bar Association says that violent actions will lead to disrupting the peace in society. LP gas distribution will take place continuously. 3 fuel ships are scheduled to arrive in the country within this week. In foreign news, Ukraine plans million-strong army to retake South. And in sports news, Sri Lanka won the second test against Australia. That ends tonight's news broadcast. The time reads a minute after 9. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.